Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Morgan County Movers and Shakers. I'm your host, Jan Sullivan, and today we have an incredible guest in the park. I would say in the house, but we're not in a house. But before we dive in, let me introduce you to Jennis Watson. She's with Endeavors. It's a consulting firm. And what she does is she's a professional consultant who helps nonprofits. She's lately been focusing on helping nonprofits with fundraising, which I know, having worked for a nonprofit, is a very important part of uh, your nonprofit because you've got to have some money somewhere since you're not making a profit, right? Now, I can't wait to delve into Janice's insights and experiences. And if you're like me, then you also want to get to know the people who live and work in Morgan County. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Welcome to the show, Janice.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so would you mind describing to us a little bit what Baretail Endeavors does?
All right. Baretail Endeavors is a nonprofit consulting firm, as you mentioned. I am brand new, a solopreneur, and I have about 20 years of experience in the nonprofit industry across multiple fields. I also have a master's degree in nonprofit management. So that was the result of being in the nonprofit industry and falling in love with it and loving charity and philanthropy, seeing where the nonprofit industry fits into the overall economy. So what I do is pretty broad. I can help with any sort of issues that nonprofits have with the IRS. I can help to navigate those types of scenarios. I can help with strategic planning and working toward developing programs, but my specialty is fundraising, and that involves grant writing, fundraising events, proposal letters, uh, donor cultivation, and those sorts of tasks.
Nice. And I know there's a group out there right now I'm going to hook you up with that is looking for some ideas for fundraising. So that would be a great thing. Um, Baretail Endeavors, where did you come up with that name?
So it is a very funny and a little bit silly story, which matches my personality. My favorite animal in the whole world is the possum.
Okay.
It is native to the US and it works in the night to clear the environment of pests and other types of vermin. And because I work in the evenings and weekends, this is a side gig for me. Because I work in the evenings and weekends, I identified with the possum. And so I decided if I'm going to start my own business, it's going to really represent me.
Okay.
And so that's how I came up with Beartail
Because they have fair
Endeavors.
tails.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. I kind of like the possum. I think they're kind of cute, except when they scream at me.
Yes.
Other than that, they're really cute. And I appreciate them a lot too. So, have you had any clients up to this point yet?
Yes, I have. Right now, I have one client. They work with neurodivergent or families of neurodivergent children to help get them support and resources that they need. And at this point, they're very new, and they needed me to put together a overall proposal
Okay.
document for them so that they can start to go out and look for grants. So we're in the process of doing that.
Okay. And what would they say they like about your business?
Well, what she has said is that she appreciates the expertise, that when we sit down and get started, there is no wasted time. And I'm able to answer all the questions that she has and send her in the right direction so
Nice.
that we're not going in circles and she gets exactly what she needs.
It's really hard when you're new starting out in anything to know what you don't know, and it's always good to have somebody walk alongside you and help
Hmm.
you to know the things that you don't.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what do most people not know about your business?
Well, I'm brand new, so most people don't know my business. Although I have done some work in the community on a volunteer basis. Um, Most notably, I would say in this particular community is I helped to get the community garden off the ground,
Nice.
Fifth Street Community Garden. I have been working very closely with the board of directors to provide the funding that they need to build up and to provide the Canaan Historic Community with produce and
Mhm.
also, of course, to support the gardeners who want to have a raised bed and
Yeah.
they may not have room or the ability to do gardening at their homes. So it's a great community resource, and also I really enjoy it
Good.
um, because I get to bring my talents to bear, and it's for a cause that I really support.
Uh-huh.
So while I am brand new as a business, I have been moving and shaking in the community already.
Okay. Well, there you go. So why did you decide to work here in Madison?
Well, my family moved here in 2015.
Mhm.
My eldest child was born 2 months after we moved here, and we moved from New York. I was living in New York for many years. So we moved here to be closer to family because we were about to expand our own family. And I had been a stay-at-home mom, primarily homeschooling for several years.
Mhm.
And we got to the point where, with finances, with inflation, and all of these challenges, I realized I really needed to get back into the workforce. So I took on a consulting, or rather a contractual position, doing some virtual assistant work. And that has helped to support what I've been trying to do with my business. So I started with that, and I was able to do some work with nonprofits, not under the banner of Baretail Endeavors,
Mhm.
but I was able to continue to flex my nonprofit muscles.
Okay.
And then this year, I decided it was time for me to go ahead and start my
Time to
little
go for it.
LLC
Yeah.
and try to bring on some more clients.
Okay. Nice. So what has it been like since you just started?
Well, it's a little confusing to
Yeah.
start. I mean, it's not that difficult to start an LLC. Um, But it is a little bit confusing because you've got to go through the bureaucracy of the state process. And so I wanted to make sure I had all my ducks in a row
Mhm.
and I hadn't forgotten anything. So once I got over that particular hurdle, it's been pretty simple. Um, the biggest challenge for me has been getting the word out
Mhm.
because, again, because I have a daytime job and I'm taking care of my children, I don't have a lot of time to go out and network.
Yeah.
So this opportunity was so welcome
Yeah,
and
I'm
appreciated.
so glad that we can do this for you because what I do is I end up posting it to a lot of Facebook groups and it's on the Park Bench page and I promote the page. And every time somebody sees one of our interviews, they get drawn back to the page so they can do some research and see what else is available
Mhm.
on there. So that's really cool. I'm so glad that we could be here for you.
Thank you.
So, what is the most memorable experience you've had while doing this consulting?
Hmm. I would say since I just have the one client at this point, I could tell you about some of the volunteer work I've had. But speaking of the my first client, it is it has been seeing the the light bulbs go off in her mind,
Wow, yeah.
drawing ideas out of her.
Mhm.
It's just wonderful because I'm able to sit there with her, and again, like I said, give her the information and the guidance that she needs, and then she's able to flourish. And
Mhm.
I love to see that because it makes her more passionate about what she's doing, and it helps me too because she gives me new information that I might not have otherwise had and new ideas
Mhm.
that I can run with.
Yeah, that's great. So what has surprised you the most about working in Madison or in this area?
Hmm. I don't know that it's so much a surprise. I grew up in Atlanta and my grandparents and other family members were out here. So I did spend time in Madison throughout my childhood. So I was already kind of familiar with the community,
Mhm.
but I have to say that since I have been more connected and doing volunteer work, um, it's wonderful to see how
Go ahead.
it's wonderful to see how willing the
Mhm.
community is to connect. And my current client was a referral from someone in the community who knew about my grant writing skills. And
Nice.
so it's
Okay.
just the tight knit community and the desire to build it up that
Okay.
I have really appreciated.
Mhm. Now, are you just focusing on Madison? Are you looking at the broader Morgan County area? Are you going farther than that? What are your limits?
Well, I'm open to clients from essentially anywhere, but in terms of where the work occurs, I need to have the opportunity to meet with the clients in person in order to gather the information that I'll need. Particularly when it comes to grant writing, I have a pre-grant questionnaire that helps me to get direction on what they're looking to do and what their nonprofit mission is, and those types of key pieces of information that I need to actually write a grant. So I need to be able to meet on site somewhere, and thus far I've been meeting in the library.
Okay.
It's a neutral area, it's a quiet area, and I'm able to get a lot of work done.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say is important about being a consultant or being a community leader?
I'm able to take the vision of the founder, and maybe not even the founder, but the vision of the people who have the mission in hand, and take it to where they want it to go.
Okay.
I think that there are people who have great ideas and ideas that I can't even come up with.
Yeah.
But they need the help actually putting it into practice and making it work.
Okay.
And so I think that that is what I can provide to the community, particularly, of course, nonprofit organizations. If they're getting stuck, I can help unstick them. Yes. And move it forward, because, of course, we know that the nonprofit industry is critical to addressing gaps in services and the needs of people who otherwise would not get what they really deserve, the kinds of services that they deserve.
Okay. So, as a leader, who would you say was your role model? Who are you trying to exemplify?
I have so many people I would name, but it's so interesting. The first person that came to mind when you said that, because of this community, is my grandmother, she has since passed. Her name is Josephine Hart Brandon. She taught I think it was seventh grade here in Morgan County for many, many years. She was a woman who went through her life, and in her older years, she said, I think I want a PhD. So she went and caught herself a PhD.
Got back into it. Yeah.
And so she was always so motivated and energetic and positive, and I have always admired her. So starting a business, going from not having a business at all to saying, "Oh, I'm doing it," and then a few months later having a business, I can credit her with a lot of that drive.
Okay, good. So what do you see? What does the future hold for Baretail Endeavors?
Oh my goodness, I've thought about this.
Yeah.
I don't know how big Baretail Endeavors will ever become, but I do hope that I can become a known entity in the nonprofit community here in Morgan County, and that I can be someone that people know they can come to for expertise.
Okay.
So whatever that looks like in the future, I'm good with it.
Okay.
And if I can roll this small business into a full-time opportunity, a full-time firm, that would be fantastic.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I might have to come work for you. So living in Madison, what are your favorite things to do here?
Oh, well, I have two children. They're both at the primary school, so they're little kids. And I'm sure, as every parent here knows, your life starts to revolve around the kids.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed. I love being a mom, and one of my favorite things about Madison as a parent is all the little parks, especially the parks that have bathrooms and water. And it's so beautiful here. And we love to go over to Hill Park and kick a soccer ball around, or my kids call Lambert Park the Orange Park.
Okay.
And so they love going over there, and I'm able to walk the circuit while they play. And of course they have the tractor. I think the tractor's still over there. My son loves it.
Oh yeah.
But I just appreciate the work that the city has put into building up these beautiful spaces for us to visit, and we love being outside. So
except for when it's like 108 degrees.
This is true. Yeah.
The sun's being down on you. But there's nice air conditioned shops around, so you can go in and cool off. What are your favorite, well, besides the parks, what are your favorite places to go? Where do you like to go around here? Maybe in the whole Morgan County. It's a big area.
So again, when you mentioned that, the first place that pops to mind is Farmview.
Okay.
I have started to really enjoy the cafe in particular. The food is delicious, but also I love that it's local, and it comes from our farms, and we're able to get some local produce, and it's just awesome.
Mhm.
My children and I also like to just walk around town
Yeah.
and pop into places, of course, Scoops.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's our little ice cream and candy shop. So
Mhm.
sometimes we'll be going by and they'll say they want to go in for a little something. That's great.
Okay.
So that's one of our little hot spots.
Okay. I was gonna say, have you heard about the roller skating in Buckhead on Friday night?
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, we actually had there was a special event there that we attended,
Okay.
and that was so much fun.
So you can watch their video on here too and learn about them. All right. So, um, why do you think it's important for people to shop local? That's just a
Oh,
generic question I
yes.
ask everybody.
Yes. Well, I think that it's important for us to support our local community, period. Because if we're not supporting our local community, nobody is.
Hmm.
And so we need to be um, preferring the local businesses and local services
Hmm.
as much as we can. And I just recently realized I needed a junk removal service, and I looked it
Okay.
up on
Yeah.
Google. And I saw that I'm not sure how many there are, but there is one that I know is actually based in Madison. And
Hmm.
I specifically called them for that reason,
Yes.
because I do believe in shopping and using local services.
Yeah.
Um, and that's one of the reasons that I specify that I'm in Madison
Yeah.
for Baretail Endeavors. I
Okay.
am
Great.
based in Madison. I work out of Madison. I want to go to the Morgan County Library to have my meetings.
Yeah.
I am very local.
Okay. Good. So, favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant?
Oh, you said it earlier.
Well, Farmview for the cafe
Okay.
for lunchtime. We do love we do love Tequilas, the
Okay.
Mexican restaurant.
Uh-huh.
It's fun there.
Okay. Great. Well, let's see. One more question. If you were to have a child come up to you and say, um, what advice could you give me to be a productive citizen in this town or in this world? What would you tell that kid?
I would tell them to listen to people. Listen more than they talk, and listen to
Shut
actually
your mouth.
hear what people are saying
Yeah.
rather than listening to respond. I think a lot of us fall into that particular trap, that we listen to people to decide what we're going to say next,
Yes.
and we're not actually listening for understanding.
Yes.
And I am active in the Morgan County Parents Facebook group,
Okay.
and I find that things roll very smoothly when we're actually listening to each other and assuming good intent.
Yes.
And then it becomes a little bit more difficult when people start to get upset about things. And I
Yeah.
have found that to be the case in every community, not
Yeah.
just on Facebook, not just
Hmm.
on social media, but in person too.
Hmm.
That if we start to assume that people mean ill intent, that we
Right.
start to get upset. And then it's difficult to hear
Hmm.
what someone else is saying.
Yes. I agree. Well, that's it for this episode of Morgan County Movers and Shakers. If you like the show, hit the like button. If you didn't like the show, hit the dislike button. It doesn't matter. We just want to get your feedback. If you know somebody that should meet Jennis, then have them watch this video and learn and get to know her. And then all of her information will be listed below the video and on her park bench page. So please pass it around. If you want to get notified when another episode comes out, click that little bell button and subscribe to our channel so that you can get to know the hidden gems and local leaders in Morgan County. Then subscribe to the show and click the bell notification. I think I already said that, but your engagement means more to us than you know, because it helps local businesses, professionals, and leaders of our community get more exposure for what they do. And it tells these platforms that put this content in front of more people. And that's super important for the growth of Morgan County. So thank you in advance for doing that. And if you're thinking about buying or selling or investing in real estate in Morgan County and you want to work with a local market expert, that's me. I work with eXp Realty and I've been in real estate now for a little over 2 years. And I live in Madison in Morgan County and I specialize in this area. And I can help you find the right home and negotiate better deals for you because I've chosen to be a local market expert. And what that means is that I can hook you up with local market experts like Jennis. And if you're not ready to move and you just want to chat about real estate, I'll be happy to help you out. Just reach out to me. My email and my phone number and my pages, and everything will be listed in the comments below. Thank you so much for your time and watching our video. Thank you, Jennis, so much for being here with us.
Thank you for
And
having
we
me.
wish you great success in your
Yes.
endeavors, in your Baretail
Thank you.
Endeavors. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye.